Hello everybody, Bob from the Carquinez Club, talking here about the West Sacramento project. Showing you guys the location over here in C Street, Sacramento Avenue. This was a project that's been ongoing and slowly building up the area as I complete the buildings. You can see the Maxwell Street building there on the right center, and I'm putting in the road today. Figured as long as I'm going to be here, I might as well run to the club with my camera and film the developments as we're slowly putting these buildings in. The other buildings are second building there next to Maxwell Street is the building I scratch built. I have a video on that, and the little shed right there is also scratch built. The other three buildings are from the club inventory, including the red building back there that's a placeholder building for a bakery that will be put over there once I finish the drawing and order the laser parts for it. So the project today is we're putting in the sidewalks from the downtown Sacramento side just past the first building on the left, and preparing the firehouse site and putting in sidewalks most of the way down on the bakery side right before that last industry, and halfway down the other side because the sidewalk is going to end in a open field where in prototype there's a second road that would go there that has a small piece of sidewalk, and then there's no sidewalk on that side of the street past the road some distance in on C Street. So the buildings are the road is just sheetrock, and the way I do this is very casually because the crown of the road is what I'm looking for mostly, and I see the magazines and model railroad hobbyists do a lot more specific roads, but on these older roads I think I'm just happier with the result that comes out with a lot more casual, because if you go and take a look at roads, unless they're just freshly constructed, they're rarely ever perfectly square. They go all over the place. The only thing they have is a crown. The condition of the road is very cracked and aged. So this is the firehouse station. This is a building that's going to be kitbashed. I'll have a video for this up over the next few weeks, couple months. The building is done and on the layout as of today, but it doesn't show here on the video. I'll do a scenery update on these areas with the buildings that I made on at some time in the near future. But for now, we're focusing on just the installation of the sidewalks and getting the dimensions of everything squared away correctly. So using the wet concrete here as a base color, and very casually tapering the sheetrock compound from the crest at the center line of the road. When you put in the other scenic details, I just like the way it looks compared to the more crisp, clean. We're going to put up some barriers on the side of the road to get our road exactly the exact width, and in some sort of higher, more controlled manner. This organic way is what I'll call it, is just ends up with a lot more loosey-goosey result, which is more in line with prototype, and I just prefer it. I've seen other roads being done a variety of different ways, from the store-bought kind to the other, and this is just my preferred process. You know, sheetrock compound, paint it gray, and leave it. Across the street from the firehouse are a bunch of small cottages and a field from the side of the house to the end of the street. You see that house is way too big for the spot. I built that kit, and we'll be doing a video on that here shortly as well. And I ultimately ended up taking it off the layout and kitbashing it by removing one of the segments of the house and shortening up the patio that's on the left side of the house, removing that window and then moving that wall back. And it gives enough room so that we have the sense of an open lot next to the house now, and it reduces the mass of the building, which is closer to the spirit of the prototype there. And I think in the end that it's the close enough for scale reduction. Nothing special about the sidewalks. The Rick sidewalks. We had a whole bunch of these in the club inventory, and I bought 2 more packs because of the amount of sidewalk that I needed. I cut them down from 2 wide to single wide to conserve space, leave more room for the buildings and scenic details in the road, and so the sidewalk width is only 1 square wide. In a few minutes here, we're going to speed through this. It's much more of the same, filing down the ends of the plastic, evening out some of the blobs on the sheetrock compound, and then putting in the rest of the sidewalk and adhering it with latex-based caulk. I've hit a stopping point because I need to build the building at the intersection. The Walther's White Castle knockoff building there at the corner is a placeholder building. That building is going to go where that brown building in the upper left is actually located. And bought another Atlas car wash, and I'm going to kit bash that down to fit the corner there to make it an auto mechanic shop. And once that's building done, then I'll be able to make the grade crossing and install the last of the sidewalks on that corner. Then I can go back and start putting in the final details on the city side. I have one building that I have to make that's going to go between the White Castle building and the school. That's the transition building between Sacramento and C Street, where the prototype, the Sacramento River would be, that we're not modeling. And once that building's done, then I can start putting in the final details and focus on the big bakery right there, which will be the final building to go in place in this segment of the layout. Thanks again for taking the time to watch. Like, comment, subscribe. These videos are the property of Carquinez Model Railroad Society, and all donations go to supporting the club layout and restoration of the building located in Crockett, California. If you have any questions, comments, please leave them below, or feel free to email me privately. And until the next video, I look forward to talking to you soon.